What is a startup? You must have heard about companies like Coursera, Flipkart, Airbnb, Facebook, and Uber. These companies are based on different niches. But what unites them? All these companies started developing and validating scalable business models with initial funding from their own pockets, families, and friends. They are termed as startups. So startup can be defined as a young company founded by one or more entrepreneurs to develop unique products or services into the market with initial funding from the founders or their friends and families. Why have startups seen an exponential rise in the past few years? Starting a business has now become a trending activity. 10% of people from the 18 to 34 age range want to quit their monotonous task and establish their own empire. But even after knowing the risks involved in demand, technology, execution, and funding, why do they choose this path? Money matters. Traditional corporate ladder climbing doesn't suit them. Starting their own companies gives them an option to pursue their dreams rather than getting lodged in mundane activities. Easy availability of resources. The internet is surely a boon. Right from the top investors and resources to the daily terms of a startup, it has become extremely easy to get started. The 106 million Google answers are surely enough for anyone too. Types of startup: unicorn, decacorn. Coined by venture capitalist Aileen Lee in 2013, a privately owned startup that is valued over $1 billion is known as a unicorn. During those times, a company reaching the point of $1 billion was rare. Hence, Lee chose the mythical animal, unicorn, to depict the rarity of such cream layer ventures. However, over time, resulted in the introduction of terms like decacorn, a venture that has a valuation of $10 billion, and hectocorn, companies valued over $100 billion. Decacorns are the evolved versions of unicorns. Uber, Dropbox, Snap, SpaceX, WeWork, etc. are some of the renowned decacorns. There are a total of 197 unicorns in the world, the top 5 worldwide being Uber, Didi Chuxing, Xiaomi, Meitu and Dianping, Airbnb. While the top 5 in India are Flipkart, with a valuation of $21 billion. Paytm, with a valuation of $16 billion. Baiju's, with a valuation of $10.5 billion. Oyo, with a valuation of $10 billion. Snapdeal, with a valuation of $7 billion, and a report by CB Insights states that of the over 384 unicorns which exist globally, collectively valued at over $1.19 trillion, over 21 are decacorns, that have scaled over $10 billion in valuation in recent times. From India, Baiju's, Paytm, and Oyo are the only 3 decacorns to have reached the $10 billion valuations. Recently Baiju's became the 3rd Indian startup to be a decacorn after having 50 million users on its platform, even though paid user count is 3.5 million and its annual renewal rates are as high as 85%. The impact of the startup revolution in India. Up to April 2020, as per a Google report, there were over 465 unicorns globally, with the largest being Ant Financial, Didi, Airbnb, Stripe, and Palantir Technologies. Our country India has given birth to 30 unicorns as of date, with 75% of these companies being headquartered at Bangalore and Delhi NCR. Today this country is expected to witness a year-wide consistent annual growth of 12 to 15%. Indeed, there is no doubt that the rise of startups is playing a huge role in India's economy. A recent study states that India will be home to around 75 to 100 unicorns by 2025, with the e-commerce and fintech sectors leading with the maximum number of $1 billion companies. While e-commerce, fintech, and healthcare have reached a year-wide growth rate of over 20%, edtech, travel tech, and logistics have to bring the same impact by fintech and healthcare by 2022. To know more about entrepreneurship, startups, and emerging and current trends, stay tuned to The Money Gig. The link is given in the description box.